Hello and welcome back to my craft room. It's Wreck the Journal time again. Wreck this journal time again. Let's go to my desk and get straight on with it. I've got some bits and bobs out already. Gives you a little bit of a hint about what I'm planning to do today, which page I'm planning to do today. I've just got to find it again. There we are. So I'm going to do this page today, colour this page red on purpose. I'm going to take it pretty literally. I'm planning to kind of outline the word red, with leave a bit of white around it and do my black and white frame, which I've been really enjoying. And I'm just going to use all these different things to cover these pages with. I think I'm going to do it in little squares. So I've got 3 different shades of red pencils. I think these Prismacolors. Yeah, these are all Prismacolors. I've got, this is a water reactive pencil in deep scarlet. I've got a Posca pen in red. I've got a chalky pastel. I've got a gelato, a Sharpie and an alcohol marker. I thought about making some kind of image come out in the red, and I might yet do that. I'm going to have a bit of a warm-up by doing one of the prompts on the inside cover first, and I'll mull that over as I go along. Just for a bit of warm-up, I'm going to do another one of these little prompts on the inside cover, and I'm going to go for make the smallest drawing in the world here. I'm also going to be going over the words in black again. For some reason I've got an aversion to this red writing on the white. I don't know why. I just don't like to look at it. I have a very kind of gut reaction to certain colours and colour combinations. It just makes me not want to look at them. I don't know. Is that just me? Is that just me? Do other people get that? Some colour combinations actually make me feel physically sick, and some really give me a lift. It's strange, isn't it? That's probably not just me. I'm sure that's not strange. So I'm going to do this tiny picture I've got. There we go. Very, very fine point. This is a 005 micron pen. I'm going to try bringing the camera right down and look down through the ring light so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Let's see how that works. Let's draw myself a little frame. This isn't going to be anything fancy. It's all wobbly, but I don't care. That's really rubbish, isn't it? Do you think I should do that again? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is do that again on a little scrap of paper and stick it in so that I can actually see what I'm doing. I did it once, it was a little bit too small, it wasn't going to cover up the old one, so I've done it again. I'm going to cut that out now. Let's give it a little bit of colour on the frame. There we go. I'm just going to go around the edges so I haven't got little white bits showing. I know. That's really too much fuss to be making, but a dash of colour in the background. It is all about colour, this one, isn't it? This book. So now I'm just going to use a bit of Pritt Stick. I have to sniff it because I love the smell of Pritt Stick. All the other glue sticks have a nice smell, but Pritt Stick, right. I've just glued that in. Fits perfectly with the little hangy thing I'd already done for the fail one. So that's that, and now I'm just going to go over these words in the black because I've just got an aversion to this red. I don't know why. Okay, that's enough fussing with that. It's okay. It's okay. I won't notice it after a while. Right. So while I've been doing that, I've been having a little bit of a think about the red page. And I'm thinking I'm just going to outline this and do the black and white frame around it, leave that bit of white so it just says red, and it's got like a a space of white around it so it pops. The rest of the page will be red, but I think it'd be quite nice if you could see something coming out of it. Maybe just the word red would be enough. Or it could be a face. I could make a face come out of there. I'm in favour of a face because I like drawing faces. So I'm just making a rough sketch of my face here. Not really got any idea what kind of face I want, so I just started drawing and thought I'll see what happens. You can see that the expression changes quite a lot as I go along. Right, so after a lot of faffing around, I decided, and a lot of changes of expression as I was going along, I've decided she's going to be a rather haughty looking red queen. My hope is that I can still do this in lots of little squares and that this will end up as just kind of a suggestion of this face. I'm going to see how it goes. What I'm going to do is just film the process and I'll come back at the end and we'll look at how it went. Okay, so I'm just starting off with the little squares. I'm just randomly picking whichever one of the pencils or markers or whatever sort of called to me in the moment. Trying to differentiate between the face and the background, but not too obviously. I ended up penciling in some squares to give me a bit of a guideline and played around with this whole idea for quite a while. Not really being too happy with it, trying different things to give a bit more contrast between the background and the face. Trying picking out the features with red Posca pen. I'm outlining the squares in black and then dark red. I tried all sorts of things and I really just wasn't very happy with it. Looking at it now I kind of think, oh, I could have just left it here, it looks alright. but I wasn't happy. And I think, oh yeah, and now I've put some gelato over the background and I'm smushing it around with water to try and make a bit more difference between the background and the face. And I think I am at least starting to quite enjoy playing with the supplies now. I liked all that drippage. And this is the point where I decided, no, enough's enough, this is never going to work. And I've smushed a load of gesso all over it and got some bright colour acrylic inks out, 3 different shades of red, whacking them all over with a credit card, and I really am starting to enjoy myself now. Get my hands in there. I've got acrylic paint in red on there as well, and once all that's dried I've cut out the letters of the word red and I've backed it with a piece of scrap vellum there, printed vellum that I saved out of a newspaper years ago, gluing the middles of the letters back in there, and the cutout letters I've outlined in black, stuck them onto the other page, and now I'm outlining again, and then I'm going to give them a bit of a drop shadow there to make them really stand out. I'm outlining the cutout letters as well, and then using the white Posca pen to add a bit of a highlight to those cutout letters. And now I'm just going to add a frame and do some doodling with the black and white Posca pens. I found I had to go over the white twice to get a really opaque finish to it. So here's my finished red page. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but I quite like it. I quite like all the different shades and shades of red and textures that I've got there. I like the noise that it makes because of the vellum on the back. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Not exactly what I had in mind. I'm happy enough with that. So I've still got some time left. I'm going to go straight onto the next page, and this one is pour, spill, drip, spit, fling. Different coloured drinks here. I think in the original book it said your coffee here, and I used actual coffee. I didn't do any spitting, but you know, I did fling it about a bit, and it still smells of coffee now. This one I'm going to have a bit of artistic liberty. I'm going to cross out the DR, so I've got different coloured inks here, and I've got a whole rainbow of acrylic inks ready. I've also sketched out a little ink bottle. My inspiration here was these little Winsor & Newton inks, and I've loved these. You can see how long I've had them by the discoloration of the top of the bottle. I have loved these little Winsor & Newton inks since I was a kid. I can remember looking at them. I couldn't find the one that I have actually had since I was a child, and I know I've still got it, but I don't know where I've put it. And it was the black one. It was the first one I bought for myself. And the thing that I loved about them was the little illustrations on the front of each one. And the black ink one was a spider, like a spider with big hairy legs. I loved it, and I still love these amazing little illustrations, different ones for each colour. This one's vermilion, and it's got these 3 soldiers. Look, although you can see by the colour of the box how long I've had this, it's still perfectly good, you know. I can still, you know, I can still use it. I've literally had this for years and it's still good. This one is ultramarine. Look at that lovely little picture. Let's see if I can get it to actually focus. There we go. It's so beautiful. And then this one is apple green. They're lovely. I love every single one of these little illustrations. So I have used one of these as my little and I'm imagining that I've just put an ink bottle here and it's spilling out. That my ink bottle is going to be one that Winsor & Newton have never made. It's going to be rainbow ink. So I've created my own little illustration. If such a thing as rainbow ink existed, this would be the the illustration on the label. So I've got that. I'm going to use this is an Echo Pigment by Faber-Castell. So I'm going to ink that in, and then I'm going to do a bit of messy stuff with ink here, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how the whole page will take shape, but we'll soon find out. Okay, I'm going to speed through this now, and you'll be able to see how I get on, and I'll see you back at the end. Right, so I'm starting to ink in my little sketched out ink bottle here. Obvious mistake, I've done it with the lid on, haven't I? But the ink pouring out, but with the lid on, so but never mind. Artistic license. And now I'm just starting to add my lovely acrylic inks in rainbow order and spritz them with water, and have fun kind of dripping and smudging all those colours around. I was really in the zone here, really enjoyed this, and I'm using the same acrylic inks to start filling in the bottle, and also the little design on the front of the bottle, my little rainbow illustration. Trying to make it look as if the ink is kind of all rainbow colours in there. You can see that I've filled in the letters in different colours there as well, the wording, but that doesn't last, I don't like it. Using the white Posca pen again to add highlights to the bottle, give it a bit of a shine. And I've also put some of the clouds there. So I'm using coloured pencils there to colour the illustration. And now I'm just penciling in the box. I decided to add the box in as well. Penciling that in. I've had to give a layer of white Posca pen over that to blot out those words that I coloured in and then decided I didn't like. Just smudging that paint around my finger, and when that's dry I can go in and start adding some lettering, and then colour pencils to add some colour and shading to that box. Posca pen for the clouds there, and now I'm going back with the coloured pencils to add my little rainbow. This is the point where I decided I thought the background would look better black. I'm still not sure if this was the right decision, but anyway, I went with it, and now I've just started to get carried away with my doodling. Really enjoyed doing the fine line doodling into all those random patterns formed by the ink that I'd thrown around earlier on. White highlights again there just to try and make it look shiny, and then colour pencils to add a bit of extra colour. Well, I think I'm done with that. It didn't come out quite as I had in mind, but that seems to be the way of things at the moment. I quite enjoyed doing it though. I enjoyed splashing about and getting messy, and I really enjoyed the sort of doodling into the, I can't see it too well there. I really enjoyed doodling into the accidental patterns. Bit in two minds about this one, whether I like it or not, but I did enjoy doing it, and that's the main thing. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and if you did, watch this space because there'll be another one along shortly. And thanks very much for joining me today. See you again soon. Bye.